Hey guys, welcome to Avi's Kitchen. Today we'll be making chicken Kiev. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not entirely sure. I did go online to listen to the pronunciation, so I'm sure Google is not incorrect. Anyway, I always like having my ingredients ready, so I have everything right in front of me, ready to go, and I'm not running around looking for things. So, for this recipe, the first thing that you need to do is boil your potatoes and boil your broccoli. So what I like to do normally is have my potatoes cut so that it is a lot easier to boil and it gets done quite quickly. So what I'm going to do is just cut the potatoes and then put them in my pot along with the broccoli. So I've got my water boiling and I'm just going to put in my potatoes and along with my broccoli, just like that, and leave that to boil until the potatoes are obviously soft, because this wants to be like a potato broccoli mash. Okay, so the next thing for this recipe is to make the stuffing for the chicken. So what you want to do for this, the recipe does say to use unsalted butter, but since I forgot to buy that, I am actually just going with normal butter. Yeah, I don't think it really makes a difference, but anyway. So what I'm doing is taking about 3 spoons of butter . It does look like a lot, but this is for 2 chicken breasts, so you need a good quantity of butter for the stuffing. So, next what you want to do is get your parsley. It doesn't have to be really fine, it can be a bit chunky, so don't worry. The next thing we're going to add to this mixture is just a little bit of garlic, or you can add to taste if you like things quite garlicky. That's up to you. So I'm just going to put a teaspoonful, just a little bit more, and then I'm just going to mix it. Okay, so once your butter looks like this, you have to make sure you have your Glad wrap ready. Now, this doesn't have to be super neat because it's going to freeze anyway and turn into a big block. So what you do is you pour your butter mixture out onto the Glad wrap, and then what you want to do is you kind of want to roll it until it makes doesn't have to be perfect, remember that. As long as you can get something that looks like this, then you're good to go. And what you want to do to keep it secure is just twist the ends together like that. Just like that, and pop it in the freezer for 10 minutes. Then what you want to do is get your bacon. You can use more bacon or no bacon, it's up to you. Okay, so what you want to do here is have your stove ready to go on a medium to high heat. Put a nice glug of oil. Once your oil is hot, it is optional to put oil because bacon already has a lot of fat in it, so that's optional. Like I said, I'm just following the recipe. So once your oil is nice and hot, just put your bacon in. It's always good to have a paper towel ready. You can cook it longer if you like to get it a bit more crisp and brown. But like I said, it does go into the oven. Okay, then what you want to do is make your chicken pockets. I actually just YouTubed this today, so please forgive me if you are a pro at it and I get it wrong. What you want to do is have the smooth side of the chicken facing down and the thicker side facing away from you. So what you have to do is get a knife and kind of poke it right through to the end of the chicken until you can sort of feel it at the tail, and then kind of just move around until you get a nice sort of opening. So it should look like this. So it's easy to stuff all the way to the back, and all that flavor can get right to the back of the chicken breast. Then what you want to do is you want to get your butter that you made out of the freezer. You kind of want to cut just knobs of the butter. Then what you do is you grab your chicken, and then what you want to do is right on the top is get that crispy bacon that you made. And you just need to put a little bit of it on the inside. Then what you want to do is have your plates ready for your breadcrumbs and flour. Of course, we also need a bit of the egg. So what we do is put a little bit of the flour in a plate, a little bit of the breadcrumbs. This is just to give it a nice crunch on the outside. Then what you want to do is you get 2 eggs and just crack them into a bowl. Also optional to add just a little bit of spice. Just a little bit of chili if you like. You can put paprika or cayenne pepper, that's up to you. I'm just using some ground chilies. While you're preparing this, you should have your pan ready with just a little bit of oil, because we will be frying the chicken breast just for 10 minutes before we put it into the oven. What you want to do is just dip it in the egg on both sides. Make sure it's nicely coated with the egg wash. And then back into your egg. Just a quick dip. And then straight into your breadcrumbs. Also, another thing I did forget to mention is just before you start cooking, depends how high-tech your oven is, put it on at 180 degrees because you need to put it in the oven for 12 to 15 minutes to cook right at the end. Okay, so your pan's nice and hot. You have a lot of the oil from the bacon before. It is optional to put a little bit more. I'm just going to put a couple of tablespoons, or 1 tablespoon actually. Then you get your chicken breast and you place it in the pan. Just remember, it needs to only be in the pan for 10 minutes. So you can do 5 minutes each side, and then it's going to go straight into the oven for another 12 to 15 minutes. So we'll let this cook for 10 minutes. So after 10 minutes, your chicken breast should look like this, nice and crispy on both sides. Like I said, not to worry because it does go in the oven again to get cooked for that extra 15 minutes. While you're waiting for your chicken to fry in the pan, you can get started with your mash because at this point your potatoes will already be soft along with the broccoli. You can season if you like, or you can also add the extra butter that you had made for your stuffing and put it into your mash because it will give a nice garlic flavor as well. I'm just adding a little bit of salt and just a little bit of pepper as well. That's optional. And then just give it one last mash. Okay, at this point your chicken has been in the oven for about 12 to 15 minutes. After removing it, you do want to let it rest for another 5 to 8 minutes before you're ready to slice it and plate up. And there you have it. Your chicken Kiev is ready to eat. Enjoy!